It literally takes a decade. Your first 10 years can set the tone for the rest of your working career.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.
Lifestyle creep, in my opinion, is the most dangerous thing to young professionals because it happens so fast and it happens in these tiny little chunks. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Is that you get a raise and all of a sudden you go buy the new car. You get a raise and all of a sudden you go buy the bigger house. You get the larger apartment. You buy the nicer clothes. You do all those things. Whereas if you can take those first 5 to 10 years of your professional career and do your best to avoid that lifestyle creep and still live in the small house and still drive the used car and still do some of those little tiny things. I'm not saying you got to drive a beater around and not live in a nice place and wear terrible clothes and not get coffee, on a regular basis. But if you can avoid that lifestyle creep, then all of a sudden you're 10 years into your career and you're set. It literally takes a decade. Your first 10 years can set the tone for the rest of your working career. And I think that, I maybe barely still fall into that millennial category. I'm 34 years old myself, and I see the difference between, those of us that started early and didn't live beyond our means. The ability to have a life that is not forced onto us by debt obligations and forced onto us by the poor decisions we made early is what's going to allow for those of us that started early to have freedom and actually pick the career that they love to work in and do the jobs that they love doing. So those first 5 to 10 years, man, are so critical, not only to start, saving and investing early, but to set the tone for avoiding that lifestyle creep, because that can set you up where you're to the point where you're not working until you die. You can work in whatever capacity you want. Maybe if you start early, now once you get to 50, you can find yourself in a role where you're doing something you're truly passionate about, rather than just having to do it because you got to fire more money into the 401k or you got to do this, that, or the other thing. And it's never too late to really hold yourself accountable to that lifestyle creep either. Is that if for whatever reason you missed that boat in the first 10, 15 years, you can still reset. I mean, you can clean yourself up in those things, and you can eliminate some of that unnecessary stuff and really start to think about, well, do I need this or do I want this? And it doesn't take a whole lot to really get yourself kind of reset back into the right mentality of, okay, well, why do I want to work and what do I want to do? But all of that is kind of comes back to, if you put yourself in that position by avoiding lifestyle creep, you have the ability to do that.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.